Hi, welcome into my channel. My channel is about astronomy, about the stars formation, planet formation. I discovered that the stars are close, small and cold. And I started, this is a new channel, a YouTube channel, about a year channel, young, but I did not upload it many videos on it. So now I started to make it full of videos. Okay, so I discovered stars are cold, so in consequence I want to speak about my proofs. But once you discover and you think about the planet formation and the universe in the correct way, you will understand many things. So now you will hear the official theory of the planet formation and my theory. Okay, so how do you say that the planets were formed? You see different spheres like this: a bigger one, a smaller one, and a smaller still one, and like this. Okay, so these are the way the planets are and the satellites. If you know, but why they are not like this? What they are not like this? What all of them are spherical? Why there is a planet like this? Why there isn't a planet like this? So or a cube, look a cube. Why all are spherical? And you I are thinking in your mind that okay, gravity does everything but does nothing. Gravity, by wrongly understand the gravity, you will not understand anything about the formation. Why are not planets like this? This is a copper. You melt it, you spin it in space. Let's say you spin this in space. It is this strong that you not make it round. You will not make it wrong. The connection of atomical, you take this in space and spin it. The atomical connection are this strong. You will not make it spherical. So look, okay, I proved to you already. This is a copper piece. So I spin it. How do you want? From now 4.6 trillion billions quadrillions of years, it will not be spherical. So how the planets were made spherical? How? It isn't unknown. If you spin something in only all around an axis, it will be flat. Like you see the flat Mars theory and Jupiter. This is a joke, of course. So if you rotate something on a single axis, this is a single axis of rotation. It will be flat, like this flat thing. So if you spin this at a single axis, if you have a poor material, like not strong material, it will be flat like this. It will be flat. So why they are spherical, the planets? Why they are spherical? If you want to obtain a sphere, you must rotate it all over the axis. But this will violate the principle of conservation of moment of angular momentum. The moment of angular momentum, it says simply like you spin something like this, by its own it will not go backwards or in another direction. So the angular momentum must be conserved. Has many implications. So if something moves like this, it cannot rotate in another way. So in this way, you cannot obtain if you had, let's say, malleable material and you modulate like some plastilin or something. You modulate the material. on all over the axis you can make it round, but in one axis it could not. So now you understand that what is the theory, what is their official theory is like magic, like this. I'll already put to you this. This is magic. You see, they say that gases gather and congeal through gravity. Gravity is not attraction. This the simply understanding of this, you'll understand. They do not know the formation of the stars and the planet. They do not know how. I put for you to understand for the International Space Station. You saw already, if you were wondering why.
Versuchen wir es jetzt mit etwas anderes. Ich habe hier eine ähnliche Tüte. Diesmal sind drin M&Ms. Und schauen wir, ob wir was anderes beobachten können. Schon geschüttelt.
The sugar in a container and the M&M do not gather together. When they hit, you compound a vector and they will make some gatherings because the vectors will compound, will give one to another energy, make some clusters. She says this in the video. But you see that they are enclosed in some object, but if they were hitting themselves, they will go in the opposite directions and you will not gather. They will gather because they are constrained in small clusters, but not through gravity, to the principle of compounding of the vectors. They are hitting, they give one to another some energy and they make some medium energetical movement until they become a rest and the energy is dissipated. So they make some clusters, but in empty space, void. You see, that's why I put to you, for you to understand that. In International Space Station, you cannot falsify this. The objects will hit one to another and will go at big distances. So why the planets are spherical if gravity is not attraction and could not coagulate? And how they were formed? Why? You see, this is not a spherical object. If you spin this on a single axis, will be not spherical. You must spin it all over the place. So now I'm telling you, you will see, I am telling you the correct vision. I'm not filming myself straight. This is the way, like I saying like a tea science, I have tea, soluble tea here, that granulated soluble tea. So I'm not filming myself straight, maybe someday, and I'm not looking always into the camera. So now you must understand what is their theory of production of material, because you see, you must have these bonbons, M&M, that all ready to have them, but from where they came, from where the material come to produce planets, and they say that the star exploded, and you understand why I told you about angular momentum. A star exploding could not produce any or thing if he explodes. If this object explodes rotating by this, the conservation of angular momentum says that the material will be distributed in explosion, conserving the angular momentum of the angle of movement. Okay, so if you explode this when it is rotating, the material will go like this and you could not go another way. So if you have a single axis of explosion, You cannot gather Saturn rings demonstrate this, what I'm telling you. They are in a flattened, Saturn rings, they are in a flat plane. So if you rotate them, you could not obtain a spherical object. So how it was obtained? By exploding a star, a red star prior our sun, they said, because they do not know how the elements from Mendeleev would form. Copper, iron, noble gases, helium, hydrogen, carbon, silicon, sulfur. You understand? They do not know how these atoms were formed. And they lie that a prior star, a big star, that was before our sun exploded. And I'm telling you, even though they falsify that interior of the star through pressure, you see, gravity does everything. It does nothing. They are stupid. With gravity pressure, a prior star formed from hydrogen elements, and then they explode them, all the elements, like dust and gases. From the initial explosion were gathering and they formed the planets. This is the official theory, and I'm telling you science if you want to be lied. You do not know how to, through pressure, to obtain. There is no known equation that put hydrogen plus pressure of gravity equals iron. This is a crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So you cannot fuse in that prior star elements. But let's say that they were formed somehow. You must keep the angular momentum. The explosion must be in a singular momentum of explosion like this. And in a single plane of rotation, I've told you, you cannot form spherical bodies. Because you must rotate in all over the place to form spherical body. So how a spherical body is obtained? How? And I'm telling you that they were formed under a cloud of water. Bible said the earth was congealed in water and through water. The same is, I can tell you that the planets, all the planets, NASA searched in Mars water, but they were formed in water, all the planets. And that's spherical because we were made under pressure in a galactic with sun unignited, with a galactic cloud of water. And they were congealing exactly like the space were congealed by atomical principles. It's a concrete piece, that's why I've showed to you. It is a concrete piece congealing by atomical properties. It gathers together and the water is absorbed in the molecular structures. In this way the planet was formed like every rock, like this. Crystalline structures were congealing like in the cloud of water, and the pressure made them spherical. If you do not have any other explanation, because the gravity, I always tell you, is force equal mass times acceleration. And this force, you put big G and small g acceleration of the specific, this is the specific acceleration, or a specific acceleration, small g. So this could not form planets. It is not a congealing factor, this force. It is a heating force. It is not any attraction. So how the planets were formed through gravity, you cannot explain this. If you must be tricked and you feel like you like lies, but I explained to you, you cannot obtain through gravity a spherical object. So the planets were formed underwater, through water, like the earth says in the Bible was formed. So now about age. How do you about the age of these planets? But you see that it is magic. It is magic. You see this? It is like magic. Tell me how it is not magic. From National Geographic Channel, Planets 101, because they do not have 102 words. How it is not magic? How? You must explain from a physical principle and the gravity being not attraction, and you must conserve the angular momentum. You cannot have another way of planets formation. So now what I say in plus? This sphere has 4.6 billion years. This smaller sphere has also 4.6 billion years, because all the solar system bodies are giving 4.5 or 6 billion years. But now let me tell you how do you know this? How do you know this? And when is the age when the Mars was full round or half Mars? This is for all the planets. They trick you, they put the age at 4.5 billion years to trick you. Now 4.5 billion years the stars were full formed, round, and it did not grow any since. So why he has 4.5 billion years? Why? They are tricking you. You do not understand that a rock can be produced. You are seeing buildings, construction with concrete. You do not understand that concrete can be solidified in an instant. Why 4.5 billion? You have a cloud of water, it will congeal like proatomical principle and will form rocks that are planets under pressure, galactic pressure. But now, how do you say it was 2.5 billion years, it was Mars like this, small, and then it grew? And you know the beginning, when it was more like this, and then it grew bigger, and then it grew, and then it grew bigger. So it was 1 billion years small, 2 billion years bigger. What rate? It doubled in 1 billion years, and now 4.5 billion years ago it was finished and round like this. They do not have any science. You must understand. They are lying to you. 4.5 billion years. Why? Because they giving this already from the Earth through strata to life from the dinosaur, and it could not be that Earth could have 4.5 billion years and these planets will be young, like 10,000 years. But I'm telling you, you obtain any rock in an instant, a small one in an instant. So I'm telling you, it was half. And what was the day? It was spinning and have one day, so I'm telling you, the sun was ignited afterward. The sun was congealing in the same cloud. The cloud was split with an energy that took all the hydrogen, oxygen, molecular at the border of our galaxy. The planets were suspended because that's why they are spherical. They were congealed under pressure by atomic principles that we know, and they was suspended at once. And then the sun was ignited. How fast you ignite a light? So this is the correct mode of production of our solar system. And I put for you this, you do not understand that this magic. This is magic, crazy stuff. And I'm telling you, force do equal mass does not do this. They are compounding of vectors like this. Gravity is a circular vector. You see, this is a vector with a quantity from the top into my hand. And this vector rotates like this. So it hits with a force in the top, in the middle, in the hand, different. And this is a vectorial force that hits a planet and maintains it in orbit. And maybe the sun, it is not producing it. So you see, like this is a force. Mass time, and I spin this object. This is the same explanation of the planet. So the gravity could not congeal a planet. And you could not give through gravity that you say that it will have a billionaire, 2 billionaires, so you cannot give the age of the planets, even though you measure them as the half Earth, Mars is half Earth. You could not infer from this anything. When I'm telling you science and you accept lies. So this is how I make my videos. I'm saying like a T-science. This is at a soluble T about the planet formation. We do not know how the matter was produced, and this is a sincere and true statement. We do not know how elements were produced. Copper. You could lie that some star exploded. We do not know because the planets have any angular moment or any angles of movement. So the initial explosion was like this. We have planets that are rotating like this and satellites, and you cannot explain all of them. So if you do not understand science, you will be intrigued. And I could tell you that magic stuff. 4.5 billion years, Mars formed. How? Half? A quarter of Mars. So this is the way I'm making my video. I'm not looking straight. And I made this video about planet formation. Maybe I will do another one on a star formation, because the same techniques are implied. Like exactly that they say it about stars. They are congealing through gravity. Does not do this, and the stars are forming. So maybe I will make a second video about star formations. You must have again something to ignite with light prior, and you cannot give ages from this. Goodbye, God bless. Planet formation.
Sehen, ob das einen Unterschied macht, weil die Wände sind hier natürlich steifer als die von der Tüte. Mal schauen, was passiert.